Good morning again from beautiful Portugal. I told you last time I would show you the second part of the farm, and that's where we're going at the moment. As you can see, there are two houses here and two different people living here, but we're getting along really good. I'm Dutch, they're English, we understand each other. We've been working together for hundreds and hundreds of years. There was a little bit of a tiff in 3 wars in the old days. We won some, they won some. It's all good. Anyway, as you can see, there's an enormous amount of traffic on the road in front here. Everybody's keeping the way they should be, which is a good thing. Like yesterday, also this part of the farm is in bloom. It's a really good place to be here. In the next field, by the way, this field has olive trees. We harvest olives in the end of the year, every year. We get a bit of oil for our own use, and it's really good to have that. Saves you from buying a lot of things. Here we planted almond trees, which in a little bit will come into bloom as well, and they are gorgeous. If you've never seen almond trees in bloom, it's a sight to see. Another thing that is worthwhile and extremely important here is what you see here in the end, which is a water tank. We're going over there now. This is water that comes from the mountains, and every farm here has their own set of tanks to keep it, because the summers here are hot and dry, and if you don't have sufficient water stored during the winter, you will have a problem in the summer, because it will dry up and your crops will go to nothing. Like you see, there's already a lot of green stuff on here. That's where it comes from, out of the mountain. That entry goes in for about 20-30 meters. I looked into it, and that's as far as I go. Way too dangerous for me. Not the stuff I like. But like I said, it is absolutely essential to have these things. On this farm there are 3, and we've had summers where that was barely enough to keep everything watered on the farm. And like I said, if you run out, you're up the creek and no paddle. Here's another one. And then there, at the end of the field, there's another well coming out of the mountain, which supplies water to tanks which are in the middle of this farm and the farm next door. And we have mutual use of that. So in case of emergencies, though, that is the last resort that we can go to. The tree you're looking at now, the big one, that is a walnut tree, and I'll make a picture of it and I'll show you. It is a gorgeous tree, even without leaves and stuff. It's really beautiful. The grass on the farm is high at the moment because it's absolutely useless to do any kind of cutting here, because if you cut a week later everything is back to how it was. Like I said, tank number 3 with some soothing noise, because nothing here is new, it's all been used, so 100% tight seals, they don't exist anymore. And to replace everything costs a lot of money, and here in Portugal they really go on the premise, if it's not really broken, it's good enough. Agave, they grow everywhere here, and these are all cherry trees and apple trees and pear trees, and man, there's so much fruit on this farm when everything comes to harvesting time. Strawberries and small trees that we planted a short while ago, some of them doing good, some of them doing and some of them are dead, so dig them up, take them out and replant something else. This here is a goji, and we got something which is very unusual, which is called the hand of Buddha, which produces a fruit like a lemon, but it's in the shape of a hand. Really unusual. And we planted it about 2 years ago, and it's very slowly growing. And the thing is, it produces almost no juice, but you use it for zest, if you want to use it at all, because the thing most people use it for is just for decoration. Another thing that you see a lot on these farms are small water tanks in areas that are difficult to reach. And again, just as a last resort, there are these kind of tanks, and originally they are used to transport oil and all that kind of stuff. They really get rinsed out and then they get transported to the farms where people line them up. I only have one here. I'm still working on getting some more, but again, it's about 1,000 liters that goes in them, and as a last resort, they're very useful. So this country is a country where they still have an ethics of repurposing and repairing. If something breaks here, they repair it and they use it again. And if it breaks, they use it again. After repair, of course. They don't do what most Western countries do. If it doesn't work anymore, throw away, buy new. And that's an attitude I really like, because it always buying new shit puts a strain on the resources, which are not necessary if you just go by repairing and reusing. And even if you can't repair it for the original purpose, find a new purpose and still use it.